Hello Commandos, I want to give a big shout out to our channel members. These guys support the channel and help create the high quality gameplay content. You guys rock. Go Commando. Hello everyone, welcome to Dice Commando and the Commando Cast. Andrew coming to you from my office just for a quick hit here. We had some news kind of hit this week as it pertains to Viper Probe Droid. So I'm showing that guy right now, right? So this is the zero cost support. I've liked this card as it was, but it just got way better, right? So just a reminder, how it reads is after a die rolls damage, you may spot a red character and spend one resource to remove that die. Then discard this support, right? So how most of us have been thinking about this and really playing this is kind of the villain version, give or take, of suppressive fire. I mean, yes, it works slightly differently. But remember, suppressives, after character is activated, you may spend one resource and discard the support from play to remove one of its character die. Right, so that's kind of the big deal here on the ruling. And what it really boils down to is this, showing the Viper Probe Droid again, right? The difference in how it's written, it says after a die rolls damage, you may spot a red character and spend one resource to remove that die, period. Then discard that support, right? So if you do remember with the whole success criteria on the may and all that, right? If you do that, it triggers the then. However, someone had asked the question, someone out there somewhere, it somehow came up that when a character rolls in and hits multiple dice with damage, this can actually be used to take away all of those dice, because what it really boils down to here is the then discard this support happens after you do the action of it, which is paying the one resource. So this does not, discarding it's not part of the cost. The discard is a result of having done the cost. So I mean, Gandork can probably say this better than Han. So if an opponent rolls out 5 dice and they all hit damage, that is 5 separate triggers of the Viper Probe Droid's ability, and each one will resolve. The VPD, the droid will trigger after the first trigger resolves, but the other 4 triggers are already in the queue, meaning that as long as you have the money, you can continue to pay 1 and remove a die, pay 1, remove a die, pay 1, remove a die, pay 1, remove a die. Right? So that is how this card works. And just to bring it up again, right? There's no real argument here that ruling, as he just said, is how this card works as written. No one here's. I'm not arguing with that. I mean, it's correct as per how Destiny works, as per how the card is written. So then the next part of this is, he said, just to confirm, so he went and he checked with Jeremy, I guess. He said, just to confirm, the Viper Probe Droid ruling stands. Knock yourself out, go try and break it. Per the convo with Jeremy, it wasn't the intent. I mean, I think that's pretty clear to the majority of us who are not trying to rules lawyer our way into this game, right? But it wasn't the intent, but rules-wise it's correct, and we both seem to agree with let's see how this plays out approach. So basically what we're dealing with in this situation now, right, with the Viper Probe Droid, is that we have a card that was, I mean, let's be honest, we know for a fact that this card was play tested as essentially a suppressive fire, right? That's basically how this thing was play tested. But with the way it was written, there was either a writing mistake or they didn't want to have too many and thens or whatever, which I get. But the result is what we have, right? So the ruling stands for now. What's the impact of this going to be, from my opinion? I actually think this is pretty minimal. Where it really starts to shine, obviously, is when you have an elite character rolling out with multiple upgrades that could potentially, you could potentially just nuke multiple dice. I mean, no, I'm not arguing that this card just got way better. Like, this card obviously just got way better. It gives you way more flexibility and versatility. But the thing is, you still have to do it all at one time. So it's not all that dissimilar than some of the traps that we've seen on the hero side. Obviously way better, I get you that. So you still have to roll well. So for a lot of, I mean, the problem here is that it's any die showing damage, they don't have to match, right? I was actually just about to make a comparison to how sometimes you just roll out and you get picked. Sometimes you just roll out, but rolling out and getting picked is way different than rolling out and hitting 2 damage sites, especially with all these 50% characters we have. So yeah, I mean, is this going to break the game? Is it game breaking? No, it's not. The card is, of course, way more valuable than it used to be, and it was already pretty good. So that's kind of where I stand on the impact here. The next part that I just want to talk about real quick is I'm actually really, let me be careful how I say this, right? I'm actually really bummed out about this whole situation. And let me kind of explain myself, right? So I've always been, I mean, you guys know that I've tried to stay on the side of, we know, like, everybody knows in their heart what this card was designed to do. Everyone knows. And if you are disagreeing with that, you're trying to take advantage of a situation just because you can. And you and I, and I'm speaking to you, the person who would do that, right? If you are a fundamental believer of that, you and I fundamentally disagree on our approach to these type of games and our approach to community and stuff, and that is your right, and it's my right as well, right? I'm just saying, no, I'm not right, you're not wrong, you're not right, I'm not wrong. We just fundamentally disagree on that. So let's just, disagree and commit on that, right? But we know for a fact that this card was play tested as a suppressive fire. That's how it was play tested, and that we know that all, not just because I've been told that, not just because I know that, but because this didn't come up until now, right? So it's very clear that it was play tested, and that somebody just found out by asking this question or through something that it could work this way. So what I'm bothered by about this is that when it got brought up, they didn't say, oh, you know what, it was a mistake, we're going to do a clarification. Now, that would be something I would expect from FFG, right? To take 2.5 months to get to, right? They'd say, yeah, you know what, that's supposed to be how it is. They'd put it on some forum thing or something, and it would take 2.5 months to get into an RG. Fine. That's what I expect. But I'm a little surprised, I think, is the way to say this, that Gandork, who's basically, I mean, we have the Gandorkacron out right now. The man has basically, I mean, he's been running Destiny for the better part of a year anyway. And by running Destiny, I mean like the rules side of it, right? He's been the man as it goes for a year plus now in Destiny. It's obvious he has Jeremy's ear. He has his own holocron thing out there that they're using. I cannot fathom why the decision was made to just let it lie, right? I'm going to put in an Elmo meme here, right? Basically, they said, yep. I mean, let's actually just go back and look at it, right? Per conversation with Jeremy, it wasn't the intent, but rules-wise, it's correct, and we both seem to agree. Let's just see how it goes. I'm very surprised that that's the action that's being taken. And I don't want to rant on this too long, but what bothers me about this ruling isn't the ruling, because I think we can all agree the ruling itself is fine. Or it's not fine, but we agree that technically with the way that Destiny works and the way that the rules work, no one is arguing with the way the card is written is the way that's been ruled to work. No one's arguing with that. But we also know in our hearts that that's not how this card was designed. And the fact that we're deciding not to do anything about it is very concerning to me for how the future of Destiny is going to be treated. Because if the people who are in charge of creating the rules and creating the next set and managing the rules and managing how everything works, if those people are also taking the same wait-and-see approach that we've seen for the last 2 to 3 years that has made Destiny fail in FFG's side, that is very not good for the future. So that is, again, I want to be very clear. I respect everybody involved in this. I understand. Actually, no, I don't. I don't actually understand why they're doing this. I'm trying to put myself in their position. I don't understand. The easiest thing here, they are fighting more of a fight by not changing this than they are of just saying, look, we're going to make a clarification like we did for no answer or any of this other stuff. It would actually be easier for them to just do that. And they're choosing not to. So the fact that they're doing a sit and wait approach means that they've got something up their sleeve or there's some other angle that they're trying to play, and it really worries me for the future. So anyway, that's my take on it. I'm really disappointed with the Elmo meme, right? We expect to see an Elmo meme from FFG. We don't expect to see an Elmo meme from the guys who are busting their butt to keep this game going. And I just don't, anyway, I'm really bummed out about it. So anyway, that's my piece. So, I accomplished a goal. I wanted to just kind of talk about it, share my feelings, make sure everybody understands the Viper Probe Droid ruling. For those of you playing on TTS, I can't wait to see all the fights about this one. Like this one's going to be a massive fight for the next several weeks while everybody gets up to speed. So kind of bringing that up, getting everybody up to speed, sharing again. I don't think the impact of this meta-wise is going to be all that big. I do think the impact of having TTS fights and clarification fights is going to be significant. But the real impact to the long term of this game and to the next sets, I think the way that this is being handled is showing our true colors, and that's very concerning. So anyway, that's my thoughts, and if nothing else, go Commando.